Well, I've been shooting all kinds of video for the past few days, but for some reason I'm just not liking the way any of it's coming out. So instead of doing bit by bit, I'm going to actually show you what I've got done so far. Some of this is like, I'll just warn you right now, the two hull halves are just pressed together. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of the size of this once it's done. So I'm just going to angle the camera. And zoom in a little bit. Alright, so first off, I have my gun turrets in place. I'm going to show you the underside because there's some stuff going on underneath that you guys need to see as well. So I got my gun turrets, they're all assembled. I'm going to quickly pull one off just to show you. Now you see the underside of it. You got the brass rod going in, and that's going to be hooked into the drive mechanism for that. So I'm just going to put that one right back in there. Carrying right along, the bridge is pretty much all done. You see right down in there, there's an anti-aircraft gun in place. Bridge isn't actually glued in place yet because I was thinking that's going to cause some issue. So going right along, got the after gun, and on the end the exhaust nozzle. Those aren't glued in place, but they are. The wires connecting them are installed. So just to give you guys a quick idea, I'm going to cut the video. And when I come back in, I'll have everything, all the things that have lights on them will all be lit up. So just give me a second here. Okay, so this is where we stand right now with the lights. So you can see captain's quarters, first bridge, second bridge, my port starboard running lights, and also see on the back there, you can see that I got my tail fins lit up. Last thing I have left to do for lighting the upper part of the hull, that is these structures here. I want to light those. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to make a simple rubber mold of the part. Then once the mold is set, I'm going to remove it. Then all the indented detail you see there, oops, and all those portholes, I'm going to cut all that out. I'm going to put the mold back over top. Then I'm going to pour some clear resin so that will fill in, and when I remove the molds, you'll have windows cast in place. So I've got pretty good feeling about how that's going to go. So I'm going to quickly do now, I'm going to turn the power off, I'm going to flip the boat upside down, and I'm going to show you the inside. So here's the underside of the hull. You can see my two forward turrets here. What I've done, the small shaft you see in the middle is the, let me zoom in a bit. Here, whoops. There. I'll use this one. The small shaft we see here is the actual turret itself, and the outside one is just a collar to help steady it. So I've done the same thing with the one back aft. Now you notice that the shaft is a fair bit longer. It just that'll get trimmed down. That's just because the gun sits higher, so on the flip side it's got to sit lower. And now if I go all the way to the back, you'll see I've done the same thing there. And it's sitting at just about the same height as the forward guns. So the trick, I'm hoping, is that as one, here I'm going to zoom out again. Here, I'll just go into the forward ones. is that, oops, too much. Once it's all said and done, is as you turn one, the other one will turn two at the same time. Or worst comes to worst, they go in different directions. That would work too. But now to control all this, I'll show you what I've got rigged up. Alright, so what I bought off of eBay is this little servo controller. I'm just going to take it out of its little plastic overwrap, because won't be seeing that anymore anyways. There. So here it is, little servo controller. Neat thing is, if all my plans fail, I can actually control up to 3 servos with this, so that's pretty cool. Input is 4.5 volts. 4.58 volts rather. So I got this really bright little light. I got the idea of using this by watching Steve Neal's garage. He's doing some work for, at the time he was building Doug Drexler's time machine. If you haven't, go check it out. I'm going to try and put the link right around here for his videos. So the hope is that as can I get both of these in the shot? Yep. So as I turn the wheel, now the problem I ran into is that these servos stock. I got one floating around here. Here we go. I'll just plug a second one in. Alright, I'm going to hit pause. I need to grab a servo horn. Okay, so here is stock servo. The controller's giving a nice purple glow to the bottom of my hand. Now you see, its range is only about 90 degrees. I needed roughly 180, so twice that. So some video that I did manage to do, which worked out, was just showing what I did to modify this. I hunted around on YouTube and on the internet. I found a tutorial on how to do the conversion, and all it is a matter of adding two extra resistors to the potentiometer inside, and I'll cut into the video. You can see in this one here, you can see the 2 resistors. That was a fine little bit of soldering. So now, after having done that, this is the range of motion I get. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit on the servo itself. I just painted the servo horn white so that you guys can actually see it. There we go. So that'd be about the normal range of motion for the servo. But now, because of those 2 extra resistors I put in, I get almost 180 degrees. Just a few degrees shy. But I figure if I can live with it if they don't go all the way perfectly. So that's about all that I've got going on right now. As I said, I have gotten some work done. I just haven't been keeping up with doing the videos. Regardless of that, honestly, I don't think I don't think I'm going to be able to get this done in the 1 month. Just some of the stuff that I haven't even looked at yet. Seems to be the way I seem to work is I build a ship, then I do the base. My Galactica is sort of like that too, and I've been working on that for a couple of years now. But if you watch my building a custom base video, you can see I'm actually getting to work on that. I should be getting the base done soon. One thing I wanted to show you, I picked this up the other day. I'm just going to zoom out here and get out of the way. Picked this little bad boy up on eBay. It is a variable power supply. Goes 0 to 30 volts DC up to 5 amps. Really nice thing about this, This is actually very similar to what Model Man Tom and Steve Neal use. I bought this on eBay for $64, shipping included. The really cool thing is, the exact same model at my local electronics store is $250. So, yeah, that's definitely, I definitely got a good buy on it. And then I just stopped at Radio Shack, picked up these wires here, and with a couple of clippy prongs, and so I'll just give you a quick demo. We got a little strip of LED tape here. National customers. So here it is hooked up to the power supply. Now I have it set for 12 volts. This is a 12 volt LED tape. So, ta-da! And you can actually see, looks like the refresh rate on my on the power supply. That's pretty cool. I think it's a function of the LEDs is just causing it to do that, but because you don't see it as much here. So and the nice thing is, tells you how much voltage you're out. It's got a coarse setting and a fine one. So I just by touching it ever so slightly, I tweaked it up to 12 volts. It's also telling me my current. So right now this is drawing 74, 75 milliamps ish. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that purchase, because instead of using for the Yamato build and other light circuits, instead of using a 12 volt battery block like this, I just plug it into the power supply. As you saw, not only does it tell you the voltage, it also tells you what type of load you're drawing. So that's cool. So I'll try and keep the builds a bit more consistent. If this does go for a month, which I suspect it will, Boyd will just he'll just start with the March feature build, and I'll just go into a I'll just go into the build progress yeah, current projects. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Keep watching and happy modeling.